Believe it or not, in my timeline, I keep hearing the same script from these leftist Democrats. Trump voters are waking up, they say. They're coming our way. They're becoming socialists now. Cool story. But let's test that against actual video because every time I open my timeline, I'm not seeing MAGA running the AOC. If anything, I'm seeing Democrats sprinting in the opposite direction.
I want to say this right now. I fully welcome Trump voters into our coalition. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but just hear me out. I cannot tell you, it just happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I can't tell you how many times someone has pulled me aside and said either I was once a big Trump voter and a Trump supporter and I watched Fox News every day, but then I started to kind of expand my world and where I got information. And now I've learned and now I've changed and I'm with you and I learn from you. Or people who meet me who are really big Republicans now, and they are shocked when they meet me because they're like, you are nothing like I was told you are. And you start to see the cogs turning, that maybe everything that they had been told from this one channel or this one ecosystem isn't the whole truth. And it is enough to spark a curiosity that makes people want to go down a longer journey of learning.
All right, y'all, if y'all see me running back and forth off camera, I'm making me some pork and beans right now. Don't judge. However, as Bella Loves USA wrote in the comment section of this, she has fantasies. So according to AOC, Trump voters are pulling her aside like, hey, I watched Fox News. I read one extra article. Now I'm ready to be a Democrat socialist. Really? 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 Common sense. That's a straight fairy tale. I don't care I ain't have to be there. Now, look at what's actually happening on the ground outside of her echo chamber, though.
Okay, a lot of the MAGA women receive gender-affirming care, such as lip fillers, breast augmentation, etc. Why do you think they are so against gender-affirming care for trans people?
You know you want to say it.
Okay, so I have this thing where, like, you know a MAGA woman when you see one.
1000%.
They all have a look, right? But they lips be able to. Anyway, That's a whole other issue. But yeah, they don't even know. Because when that was brought up on the House floor, because there was a discussion about this on the House floor, they were like, how dare you say we use, and it's like, no, that's exactly what y'all do. Y'all just didn't realize that that's what it is. But okay. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of the MAGA women...
Before we get to the folks leaving the party, I want you to see how these people talk about you while they pretend they want unity. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have our jabs on our side either. But Crockett talking about MAGA women getting gender-affirming care like lip filters and breast augmentation. You know a MAGA woman when you see one. Marking their look while standing next to a 6'5" man in a pink dress. Let me get this straight. MAGA women use lip filters. That's now gender-affirming care. But if you don't want state-sponsored hormones for kids, suddenly you're the bad guy? She's mocking in your face while standing next to a dude in a ball game. Okay. And they truly think this is the energy that's going to make you flip red. Flip a red hat blue is what I meant to say. All right. Let's see what real voters are actually saying, though.
Been a Republican.
Thank you. Just a little while ago, I was a Democrat my whole life, but then I realized I don't align with anything. My beliefs, who I am, don't align with anything about the Democratic Party. I'm a Christian, so I'm not about abortions. I don't want, that's not something that should be the forefront. So I don't push abortions. I'm not with teaching transgender to our kids. And I'm not telling our kids you can be a he, she, and you can cut off your private parts. I'm not with that. And the thing is, I'm not with open borders. I'm not with illegal aliens coming over here and being prioritized over American citizens.
Been a Republican.
Shout out to Danielle Carter. She talks about being a lifelong Democrat and realizing her beliefs don't line up. Similar to mom when I got basically exposed for not knowing in that Uber ride. If you haven't seen that video, go check out the pinned video on this channel. But realizing her beliefs just didn't line up. She rejects abortion. She rejects pushing transgender ideology on kids. And she's not with illegal aliens being prioritized over American citizens. You notice something? She didn't wake up one day and said, you know, I hate my neighbors, I'm switching parties. She said, I'm not okay with you feeding my kids gender confusion at school. I'm not okay with you celebrating abortion like it's a personality trait. I'm not okay with watching illegal aliens get preferred over citizens who are struggling already here. That's not hate. That's called boundaries. And once you set boundaries with this party, they treat you like a straight up traitor.
I am fucking done with the Democratic Party. You guys are psychotic. I've been a Democrat my entire life. I'm 43 years old, and I've never been more humiliated and embarrassed to be part of something. You guys are the most racist, hateful, bigoted, nasty group of people I've ever had to commingle with. And it's not all, just to be clear, but it's a majority of you guys. The left has lost their goddamn minds. What I've witnessed over the last 72 hours has been an absolute disgrace. Disgrace. You guys want to sit here, you want to abort babies at 9 months, you want to leave the borders wide open. New York City is an absolute disgrace. You have no idea what's going on in Manhattan. It's disgusting. Disgusting. It's not even livable anymore. I can't wait to get out of here. We have people that are getting set on fire in New York City subways, not once, but twice. The stores are being looted. People are being pushed in front of the trains. The streets are filled with piss and weed. And I swear to God, I hope New York City single-handedly flips the entire New York State red. Because I am done. I am done.
She says she is done. That's not a Trump cult member, by the way. That's a former Democrat standing in the mess her party built. This is what you get when they call crime compassion. You call chaos, equality or equity. You call every basic boundary hate. Eventually, the people living in it look away and say, nah, y'all are the problem. And that's exactly what happened here.
So I went down a rabbit hole on the Democratic Party. And I wanted to do it for myself because nobody could tell me how the Democratic Party could push such weird agendas and somehow still get full support from black people. And I feel like growing up, that's all we know. Vote Democratic, vote blue. I wanted to see for myself where these loyal ties come in. Let's talk about it. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna list off a couple of things. Y'all just let me know which party y'all think supported it. Slavery. The Democrats supported it. The Republican Party actually was created to oppose and reject slavery. The Democrats supported slavery. Republicans, majority of them, are the ones who went on to abolish slavery. Jim Crow laws and segregation. The Democrats supported that. The Confederate flag. When we all see the Confederate flag today, we kind of already know what that means. I'm going to kind of stay away from you. And at the time, the Confederate flag was a symbol of resistance to civil rights. The Democratic Party supported that. They came up with that symbol for us. White supremacy. Ooh, that's talked about a lot. That was founded by who? Democratic Party. Yeah. The KKK, founded by the Democratic Party. And there was actually a point in time leading up to the 1930s where majority black voters were Republican because the Republicans were fighting for civil rights. And Republicans, majority of them, were the reasons that the 13th through 15th Amendment were passed. The 13th Amendment being abolishing slavery. But in the 60s is when the party started to shift. That's when LBJ, who was a Democrat, passed the Civil Rights Act, which actually was majority supported by Republicans. Obviously, LBJ was the president, so he took the credit. This was the turning point for the Democratic Party because they pretty much embraced the civil rights identity. We're the ones that passed the Civil Rights Act. We have your best interest because we did that, and they pretty much ran with it. And then in the 80s and 90s, the Republican Party stopped focusing on race and started focusing on the economy. And that actually drove majority of the black folks to the Democratic Party because the Democrats continued talking about race, Civil Rights Act, we do this for you, that for you. So now in the 90s, the Democrats had the majority black vote. From the 90s and up, it's pretty much the same thing. The Republican Party is majority white. The Democratic Party is majority black. But I said all of that to say this, though. I'll never be somebody that tells somebody else who to vote for. Vote for whoever aligns with your beliefs and values the most. Who I am talking to, though, is the folks that got these loyal ties to the Democratic Party and vote with blind faith just because it's Democratic. It is completely okay that the Democratic Party does not have your best interest anymore. The same way these folks didn't care about black people for a long time and then they switched and then all of a sudden want to act like they cared about black people all along. It's the same way you can just switch to another side because your interests have changed. You can see it in the history. People flip sides all the time. People voted for Republicans because they were doing the right thing and it was aligning with their morals and beliefs. Then they flipped to the Democrats and did that. You can do the same thing in 2025. It is okay to flip sides if one side is tripping, and the Democrats are tripping. And if the Republicans start tripping, you can also switch sides then. We got to get out of this whole one side is forever evil and one side is forever good. It's not like that, bro. Do whatever aligns with your morals, values, and beliefs, and never compromise it and vote blindly because your great grandma told you to.
Now, the moment a voter basically goes, if y'all been so righteous, why does your history book read like a villain origin story? That's when they lose control. And you see it in this message. Don't just blindly worship Republicans either. Vote for who actually lines up with your values. If a party starts tripping, you have that option to flip. Can't see me going back to being a Democrat, just being honest. Meanwhile, AOC is on stage pretending only flips happening. Are MAGA people joining her club?
The only qualification you need to be a Democrat is to be dumb. The only qualification you need to pass as one of the Democrat voters is to just don't have a brain, just to be mindlessly following whatever you hear. Because I don't know how y'all still talking about Trump is keeping the government closed. Are y'all stupid? Like 60 votes. Everyone keeps saying you need 60 votes. Yes, 60 votes. 53 of those were Republicans that said yes. The others are Democrats that said no. How is it you guys don't understand that we're agreeing with the senators who said yes because we don't want to pay $200 billion for illegals' health care? What? I'm supposed to pay for my health care, which I do, and pay for another person's health care too, who's not my child? You see how basic that sounds? You guys are bugging. Ain't no way you mean to tell me we should be paying for people who don't contribute to this country in no way, shape, or form other than just being here. The hell? Hell no. I do hope that the Republicans hold their stance and don't ever open back up this government.
Well, that didn't happen. The only qualification to be a Democrat is to be dumb, she says. Then she breaks it down, though. You needed 60 votes in the Senate. 53 Republicans said yes. Obviously, Democrats said no. They blame Trump for the government staying closed. She doesn't want to pay $200 billion for health care for people who came illegally when she's already paying for her own. Trip the, I don't care how you feel about her tone. The core point is quite simple. Why am I still paying for my health care and turning around and paying for someone who broke the law to get here while my own kids are here struggling? You can argue the policy on paper all day, but you cannot gaslight people who feel the pressure in real life. Democrats keep acting like the question is racist instead of actually real.
Obama deported twice as many illegals as Trump did in his first term.
You've had your turn. You took my turn.
So let's
Please.
First of all, is this not democracy or what?
we cannot leave people on the streets and call that compassion. We cannot leave people.
But your party's been in control of it for years, though, and it's gotten worse.
So, sir.
And you guys are more like. And listen, I know we have problems, but you're more concerned about Trump.
I think.
Now, before we continue, I want y'all to watch what happens when a Democrat slips and tells the truth in public.
The reality is,
I know, I'm not meaning to like be crazy. I'm asking legit questions.
No, I think you
because I'm a lifelong Oregonian. I grew up here, and
you deserve to have your voice heard as much as anyone else.
And I appreciate that, and I get that vibe from you. I really do, and that's why I appreciate your approach. But at the same time, our state is facing failure after failure in every single sector. Your party's in control of that,
I agree.
And I just don't understand why there isn't more accountability on your party that has the control of every.
No, but let me just say this because
I think she can handle it. She's pretty smart.
But what I'm going to say is that this is really important.
Yeah.
Government needs to work. We have not done a good job. We've had Democratic control for too long. It's, I think, disproportionately, when you are in power for a long time, you become lazy in how we do it. We need to do better.
I appreciate you saying that.
And that is without question. I ran a for-profit corporation. We would never run a company the way we run our state.
Yeah.
We need to do better.
Well, I don't like honestly, I don't like the system itself. I think our political system is corrupt. I think I'm not talking about just Democrats. I'm talking everything.
100%.
And I just want to see my state in a better place. And it's like the people, like your party that's in charge is in charge of everything. Like they're in charge of every branch of government in Oregon, right? And so we hear about Trump and ICE has been around since 2003. Obama deported twice as many illegals as Trump did in his first term.
You've had your turn. You took my turn.
So let's
Please.
First of all, is this not democracy or what?
Wait.
I was in front
I'm
of you,
listening.
and you just shoved yourself up in front of everybody.
That'll be my last question. Okay, that'll be my last question.
Quickly.
So you can. Okay.
So I am going to just say this. I hear you. What divides us is nowhere near as much as it probably feels right now.
I believe that.
And I am.
This is an important conversation, ma'am.
It is, but everyone.
I get you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
I'd be grateful to have time to talk more.
I would love that. Thank you.
Now, that is something that I don't see every day. It's rare honesty. Think about it. Oregon is deep blue. Portland is a poster child for everything they said would save America. And now a sitting Democrat has to admit we got comfortable. We got lazy and we mismanaged it. You know how bad it has to be for someone in power to say that on camera? And while their voters deal with homelessness, drugs, and collapse, national Democrats are busy calling you extreme for wanting a border in a working city. And here's the contrast they do not want you to see, y'all. While Democrats try to brand it as the Republican shutdown, who's actually handing checks to the workers that held the line?
Rico, I want to present to you a check and say thank you from the American people. Appreciate it. Ashley, thank you. Yes. And is Leo here? All right, Leo. There we go.
All right, well, it's a nice moment that we were able to catch live there in Houston, Texas, John, as Kristi Noem hands out those checks to those TSA workers who had to hold it down during the shutdown. So,
Rico, I want to present to you.
Oh, wow. Now, you don't have to love every Republican. You don't have to agree with every policy. But here's the scoreboard in a video. One side shut down everything. They blamed Trump and kept lecturing you. The other side is out rewarding the people who kept the country moving while D.C. played games. And in the middle of all this, Chicago voters are leaving the Democratic Party. New Yorkers are saying, look, I'm done. And black voters are reading history and asking real questions. Everyday Americans are yelling, we're not paying for the world while our own families drown. But AOC wants you to believe, actually, the Trump people are joining us secretly. Let me say this clearly. If you walked away from the Democrat Party, you're not crazy. You're not alone either, by far. And you're not evil because you got tired of being lied to while you watched your city fall apart. This season, this is reality versus fantasy right now. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to AOC. Go look at your city budget, your crime stats, your grocery bill, and ask who had the power and what did they do with it. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want you to put I'm out. I want you to confuse people in the comments. They're gonna be like, why is people commenting under this video saying, yeah, I'm out? Now I gotta watch it to hear what he said. Yeah. Now y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life.